So Wednesday's game tomorrow is going to be seniors and then 8th and 9th graders versus the sophomores and juniors. And then whoever wins they're gonna play each other, and we hope to see you there.
So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we will be holding a school-wide food drive. Please bring unopened boxed and canned goods, and then we'll have the bins here in the chapel. And it's a really good opportunity for you to win class points, because if you win the food drive, you get to take away 60 points from a class of your choosing. So you can now be in the lead or take down the seniors.
So current class points, the seniors have 210 points, juniors have 100, freshmen and 8th graders have 75 points, and sophomores have 40.
This is the group that's organizing the benefit concert this year for CQY's Holiday Gift Fund for less fortunate kids around Monterey County. So our concert's going to be on December 8th in the chapel. It's a Sunday from 3 to 5.
No, not the chapel.
Not the theater. Not in the chapel, in the theater. From 3 to 5:30, there's going to be a lot of live Christmas music, lots of food, drinks, and raffle baskets.
So tickets are going to be $6, but if you want to buy your tickets together with someone else, it'll be $10 for two tickets.
And we're fundraising tomorrow in the Commons. We're going to be selling pizza, $2 a slice, so make sure to bring your money.
And also come to me, or I'll come to you if you want to buy tickets.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Waldorf is often misconstrued to be a place where kids don't really learn, where they're told stories about fairies, gnomes, and dragons instead of learning how to read, where they're taught how to sew instead of code. It is an untraditional method of education that is looked down upon by many from the outside, but loved by most from the inside. From 1st through 8th grade, I had a unique experience. I went to Monterey Bay Charter School, a small Waldorf-inspired school. Another aspect of Waldorf is that it is customary for a teacher to stay with the class from 1st through 8th grade. At MBCS, this had never been done before, partly because we were only Waldorf-inspired, not a full Waldorf school, but also because most teachers don't have the patience, training, or experience to teach every single subject that is covered between 1st and 8th grade. That is, except for my insane, lovely teacher, Miss Gober. Miss Gober was my teacher for 8 years. During that time, she built a special connection with each one of her students, becoming a second, sometimes third mother to us. By the end of 8th grade, she knew us all like the back of her hand. She knew how we learned, she knew how we played, she knew almost everything about us, often more than our own parents did. She was extremely influential in all our lives. The first time I met Miss Gober, she was a complete stranger, and you could even say that she was scary, but that's just because we didn't really know her yet. After our kindergarten graduation, she took us back to a small patch of grass. We sat in a circle, entranced but cautious, as she sang to us in a language I'd never heard before, about strange creatures and faraway places, which was nothing new from Waldorf education, from Waldorf kindergarten. But but she did it in a new and special way that brought the song to life. She was like a fairy queen. Throughout the first few months of first grade, we became more comfortable around her and grew to trust her. She told us about how she lived in the piano that was in the back of our classroom. And of course, we all believed her. Every day, new drawings would appear on the chalkboard about every imaginable place and thing. These drawings were not only interesting, but they also connected to the curriculum and continued to appear on the board all the way through 8th grade. Everything was going smoothly until 7th grade. Then one day, Ms. Gilbert didn't come to class. At first, we weren't sure where she had gone or why she had disappeared without saying anything, and just assumed that she had gotten the flu. But a few days later, we were told that she was in the hospital. In the middle of the night, she had had an incident where her heart had suddenly stopped. At first, we weren't sure how to feel, but we were just glad that she was safe. The idea of having a life, or even just a class without her, was hard for us. Then we realized that this would be the first time that we had a different teacher for more than just a few days. We would have a long-term sub. Our class had never liked subs. They always did things in the wrong way. So the idea of having one for at least a month did not sound good. This sub in particular was not very good at all. She immediately started to change things around the classroom as if it was her own, as if Ms. Gilbert didn't exist. A small assignment that Ms. Gilbert had made the day before the incident, was turned into the subject test, which threw our class into outrage. The real test simply vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. So in some sense, our sub was magical, but not in the fairy way. She was a witch. Our time with the sub was interesting. Many debates took place between my classmates and me about what she was doing wrong. We judged her every move and criticized everything she did, even if it benefited us, as we were confused and worried for Ms. Gilbert. So when she finally returned, we were thrilled to see her glowing, magical self instead of our annoying self. This was just one of 3 times that we had a long-term sub, the other 2 due to maternity leave. Each time, things were a little better, a little less stressful than the last. Now I know that me and my class and me had impossible expectations for a sub that had minimal plans and was just trying to do her job. None of these subs could ever be what Ms. Gilbert was, but they still taught me an important lesson. My class and I didn't realize how great we had it, how wonderful Ms. Gilbert was, until she was gone. Thankfully, not forever. It's important for us to take a moment every once in a while and recognize all the wonderful people in our lives and make sure that we don't take how amazing they are for granted before it's too late.
Season for the fall that are recognized by the Pacific Coast Athletic League in our 5 sports that we offered this fall. In water polo, Sophia Sinico, first team all-league in water polo. Was water polo? second team All-League, and also Richard Chamberlain Sportsmanship Team Award to the Leo Cubs. Field hockey, Camilla Martin was outstanding. Volleyball, Sue Young was first team, and Andrea was Richard Chamberlain Sportsmanship Award. Cross country, Michael Julian was league champion. Also, all league, Juliet Oliver and Sarah Stoker. Girls tennis, Alana Shapiro and Myra Q were also doubles players in the league championships.
So every year across the country and actually across the world, communities celebrate something called National Philanthropy Day. And this day takes place in all kinds of communities across our country. On Friday, National Philanthropy Day for the Central Coast happened here in Monterey County. And it was an opportunity for our community and local nonprofit organizations to recognize philanthropists and people who have contributed to their missions by giving of their time, their talent, and their treasure. It was a gathering of 450 of our community's leaders, and it's always a really special and inspiring event to see what people in our own community are doing to make our community a better place. I'm really thrilled to let you all know that for, I think it's the 10th year out of 15, a York student was awarded the Youth Philanthropist of the Year for our community, and that student was Leonardo Del Toro. Leo was there with his committee, which was Gabrielle and Courtney and Anna and Leo were all there to be recognized for their work. And Leonardo gave a great, he had actually an interview with Dan Green in front of everybody that was very inspiring. So I just wanted to congratulate him, and I wanted to let all of you also know something else that Leonardo's doing. He's founded his own nonprofit. And he has raised, I think, over $25,000 so far to build a school, well, to build schools across the world, but the first school his nonprofit is building is in Nigeria. Construction has already started on that school, so by December the school will be built. So that's pretty incredible for a high school student. I think we should all be really proud and grateful for that.
Just an addendum to Coach Peters' announcement, one more peak out all-league runner, Daniel Shute.
Oh, yes.
Kevin Dillery also got second team for water polo, so.
Anyone else? Speak now for everyone.
All of those athletes that were mentioned, including Daniel and Kevin, my apologies for that omission. All of you report to Ms. Flager in her office for a photo at some point in the next day or so.
All right, so just a reminder to get donations for the food drive, and also we have general in the physics lab at lunch.
All right, good luck.